Welcome to Full Measure. I'm Sharyl Attkisson. We begin today with a deep dive into a topic you've probably heard mentioned a lot since the COVID chaos, the global computer chip shortage. It's cost American companies billions of dollars and impacted availability of countless consumer electronics from cars to smartphones. Even worse, it affects the military and medical supply chains. One thing it's hit home is how ill-advised it is to rely on an adversary, China, for something so crucial. Today, we're off to Germany and a center of global efforts to cure the world's Chinese chip addiction.
This is doing
Thomas Kralinski is Saxony's state secretary for economic affairs. Here in Europe and in the U.S., the goal is to reduce long-standing dependence on companies in Asia to avoid a repeat of the critical chip shortage after the COVID shutdowns. It's impacting sales of everything from cars to iPhones and Mac computers. When Russia invaded Ukraine, the U.S. stepped in with massive military assistance immediately. But you might be surprised to hear about other countries that have bought and paid for U.S. military weaponry and are in limbo on delivery. Scott Thuman reports. So do we, meaning the U.S., have the weapons that we need?
Well, that's the big question. The U.S. government has put in a large order for new weapons in the last few months. We're talking about $352 million in Javelin missiles, another $624 million worth of Stinger missiles. In September, Congress appropriated, gave $1.5 billion to help replenish the stockpile. Keep in mind, $15 billion worth of weapons went to Ukraine. So you got to make up that ground. But analysts say it could take years to rebuild the inventories.
Interesting. Good report. Thanks, Scott. When we come back, 33 years ago this week saw the official fall of Germany's Berlin Wall. The infamous barrier grew to represent the Cold War, a tense rivalry between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. Today, we're on the scene in Berlin for an historic look at the iconic symbol. The Berlin Wall was patrolled by at least 12,000 border guards at any given time, or about 120 guards for every mile of wall. After a break, what's ahead next? We follow the money next week on Full Measure. Until then, we'll be searching for more stories that hold powers accountable.